telling you.
Why not?
Because he said it to me in confidence, and I respect the
Well,
confidence.
I'm glad to see you respect some.
According
According
to
to your...
let you down, Robin?
No, but I haven't told you very many, Mr. Haines. I'm not sure I'm not sure, judging by this book, where you draw the line. But I didn't mean to be impertinent.
But you're not doing badly.
According to your book, Mr. Haines, here was a woman, Marcia Williams, Lady Forqueter, whose behaviour could be outrageous, neurotic, explosive, unpredictable, imperious, ruthless, destructive, distracting, overpowering, temperamental, and appallingly rude, to mention only a few of the adjectives in your book. Now, if she was really like that, why did Harold Wilson put up with her for so long? Why didn't he get rid of her?
I don't know. I mean, I say in the book that I do not know. I'm not a psychiatrist. I'm not able to explain fully, or even to. I wouldn't want to hazard a reason.
But you do hazard a reason, because you say, I don't know the answer, except that
it lies in his own insecurity. Yeah.
It lies deep in his own insecurity. Yeah. What does that bit of psychological jargon mean? He was the Prime Minister, won 4 elections, a man of nearly 60. What's he got to be insecure about?
Again, if I knew the answer to that, then I could write a much longer book. I do think it's one of those things that are going to intrigue Wilson watchers and biographers.
Do you feel, or have you felt at any time, that perhaps she had some hold over him? A hold which ensured that he would not dare to sack her ever, or risk that she might turn sour, as you have?
I don't agree that I've turned sour, Robin. The word sour doesn't describe the way I feel. I'm not going to hazard that sort of guess, that sort of speculation.
Did you ever ask yourself that question?
Of course, one examines what the relationship is, and then all sorts of questions come up. But I am not speculating answers.
Of course, the explanation could simply be that Marcia was intensely loyal to Harold Wilson. In spite of her faults, he was loyal to her, and valued the devoted work and advice she had given to him for many years. It could be as simple as that, couldn't it?
I don't think it is as simple as that. I do make it quite clear in this book that up to a point, 1970, perhaps a bit after that, I thought that what she did for him came out on the credit side, and she is a formidable and extraordinary woman. You have quoted all the unpleasant things that I've said about her. And there is the other side, which is in the book, which you must have seen,
yes,
which is not there for hypocritical reasons.
Well, that's why
I really believe that I was in the presence of, and working with, occasionally, we didn't see all that much of each other, working with occasionally a woman of quite unusual, extraordinary ability. That I thought that ability deteriorated until she became a handicap. I set out in my book. But I would not want it forgotten in this interview or by any extract.
That's why I put that question to you.
That there is a remarkable woman.
Yes.
I think somewhere or other I said that if she had been Boadicea, she wouldn't have lost.
Yes.
And,
did Sir Harold Wilson actually say to you that if it had not been for Marcia, he would not have quit the Premiership?
Well, that is in my book, and yes, he said it.
Do you believe that?
No, I don't.
Why did he resign when he did?
He gave a number of reasons.
I know,
but I think
what do you think?
I would. Well, most of those reasons he gave were quite accurate.
Yes.
I mean, I think that they were all accurate.
Yes.
There were one or two things I would slightly disagree with, but I think they were all accurate. I don't think it was the whole story. I think that he was, after 30 years at the top, and 30 years at the top of the Labour Party is worth 300 at the top of any other. After 30 years at the top of the Labour Party, I think that he was mentally and physically exhausted.
Why, if you were so fed up with what Marcia could be like, despite her good qualities, why did you not resign? Why didn't you and others go to Harold Wilson and say either she goes or we go?
Well, I mean, that is the one question where I think that I do not have a satisfactory answer for you. I've asked myself again and again. I discussed it with my wife. I discussed it with my friends in number 10, that is. There were times when I was acutely despondent. Why I didn't resign in the middle of 1974 was I knew there was a general election coming in 74. But looking back on it, I think that if I had resigned, then I would have been able to speak with greater strength than I can today.
Looking back, it might have been more good in resigning then than waiting till now to expose what was going on there at the top of the country government.
I accept that. I think that's a fair comment.
Do you withdraw your statement that Lady Forqueter refused to be positively vetted by the security services? Because that's a statement which Sir Harold Wilson describes as, quote, totally wrong and malicious.
Well, it's certainly not malicious. As I understood it, when we returned to power in 1974, she was, and during subsequently, She was resisting the normal security vetting, which is, I don't wish to go into all the details, but it involves interrogation and questioning of one's background, which we are all subject to. That is, as I understand, is what the situation was. There is there is absolutely no question of impugning Marcia's loyalty to the country.
No.
That doesn't come into it. It's an
example of her temperament.
Yeah, no more.
You have plenty to say about Marcia's work and how the civil service worked, but you have very little to say about your work as Mr. Wilson's press officer in dealing with journalists. In which capacity you are widely regarded, Mr. Haines, as having been a disaster. And indeed, earlier in the interview, you appeared to agree with that.
Yeah, it's a view I share to some extent. I think disaster is overdoing it, but I think there's only been one good press officer at number 10. That was Sir Howard Evans under Macmillan, present incumbent accepted.
Are you asking us, Mr. Haines, from your article in today's Mirror, to believe that money has not been your motive in writing this book?
Yeah, I am.
But if the public are able to judge whether you are accurate in saying that, are they not entitled to know how much money you've made out of the book and its serialisation rights?
No, I don't think so. It's an agreement. It's an agreement between me and the Daily Mirror. The figure that I received from the Daily Mirror is a commercial secret of the Daily Mirror's. So far as the book publisher is concerned, if he is prepared to disclose it, then I am.
Yes, but if sums of £50,000 or more are anywhere near accurate, well, then that's a lot of money not to have any motivation for, isn't it?
It is a lot of money.
Did anything like that?
The figures are not accurate. I'm not going to give them to you. If the Mirror wish to do that, they can. What I will say is, though, that the book was written before anybody on the Daily Mirror saw it.
Can I...
No, because this is quite important. The other thing is that at no time did I seek to auction it, and no time did I hawk it around. I did not employ an agent. I didn't go to any other newspaper other than the two newspapers that approached me. I did not have a competition among the publishers. The money that I receive is what I was offered and which I accepted. And in doing that, I followed the procedure that Howard Wilson followed in 1974 when he did exactly the same thing.
And you couldn't have a better president. Thank you very much, Mr. Haines.
Robin Day,